So let's look at, let's go a little bit bigger, because that'll get rid of that one, but it won't get rid of that one. So let's go as big as we need to. Perfect. And don't forget this guy over here, same thing. And 6. Yes, I know you don't like those fractions, but we're teaching you to get rid of them. So fractions just mean there's a divide going on. So let's do the opposite of divide, which is multiply. And for this particular problem, make sure you multiply by something big enough to get the job done. Because 3 isn't big enough to get the job done for everybody. What would be a good multiplier? 6. So go and multiply everything by 6.
So 6. Yeah, you multiply it. I'll put mine on the top just because then it looks like a pattern. It's like 6 over 1. So then I can reduce it down. Right, I can reduce it down to after 1 and 2 by 2. So it'd be 2x. See what I'm saying? Where'd you get?
Here's what I do. 3 goes 1. 3 divided in 6 goes
You got 6x over 8?
2x over 1.
Multiply it in
Here, 6 into 1.
You're multiplying. Let's multiply. Let's multiply.
Over 1.
Multiply. Multiply. So then we'll just read that from the top number.
As long as it's done.
Yeah, what you do to one, you have to do to all of them. Okay? So if I multiply this by 6, I have to multiply this by 6 and that 6. That make sense?
Oh. Oh, great.
What we're trying to do is get rid of the fraction, right? So if I'm multiplying numbers, she said, if you're going to multiply, then this is a divide here, right? That's the fraction of the divide, so that's what the Does that make sense?
Right here. This, so this looks good because like the 3 into here went once and the 3 into here went twice and 6 times 6 is 2x. 6 into here,
6 times 6 is 46.
Over 3.
well, but like when I go 6 into here is 1. 6 into here is 1, so it's like 6 over 6. When I do, if I have 3x over 6 and I multiply by 6, it's like there's the divide by 6, there's the multiply by 6. When they match, they completely cancel each other out. These didn't completely match, you have 3 and a 6, so that's where it divide this by 3 is 1, divide this by 3 is 12. And now you're good right there.
Thank you.
That help you understand where it's coming from?
Yeah.
Got it?
How about this? Think about it. 6 over 1. It's the same as 6 over 1, isn't it? So 6 over 1. Can I cross reduce? Can I reduce? That's a 2 and that's a 1. Write 6 over 1 next to it, so you can see it in line. So,
Yeah, and so let's just remember here, well, kind of, I'm gonna go here and write, so it's 3x over 6. So it's like This is the way I see it. This says divide by 6. So this says multiply by 6. So they're going to completely undo each other, and they'll just have 3x. Now over here,
You could do
when you had
6x
x over 3, and you multiply by 6, is what I wanted you to do.
started at, right? So to speak.
Yeah, well, this is divide by 3, this
Yeah.
is multiply by 6. So I kind of think of,
See,
what is 6 divided by 3?
you have different
See, that's 6 divided by 3 is
Better for you, because there's
2.
another way to do it.
So you can think of it that way if you want. Or you might go 3 divided by 3 goes 1, 3 divided by 6 goes twice, and then there's 2 times it. So it's whether you like to do 6 divided by 3, 3 divided by 3. When they match, they'll just cancel each other out. If they don't match, then you got a little more work to do. So, and then, now you got 2x plus 3x is actually 5x plus 30 on that other side. Finish it up, and you're in great shape.
I haven't done the problem yet.
Mr. President.
Could you give her an explanation that's
Yes.
different than my explanation?
What are we looking at? Okay. All right, are you okay that multiplying by 6 is a problem? Okay, I'm just gonna write, I don't want to scribble over top of it. Negative.
Still on that first problem?
Okay, so, this is the easiest one to understand, because here's the way I see this. Here's a divide by 6.
Why did you move a 2x
Here's a
across?
multiply by 6.
You moved a variable onto a
And
constant.
there's the 3x.
You should just combine like terms.
Now over
So,
here, 2 ways to
2x plus 3x is
Some
5x.
people see it as 6x
Equals
over
30,
3,
and
so
then
they see it as
divide out
by
to 5. Make sense?
How much? 2x. Alright, some people think of it as, alright, I'm gonna reduce the fraction, you know, like if you're using,
I think that's
let's
okay.
say I'm using 1540, where I divided each by 5. If I divided each by 5, 5 into here goes 8 times, 5 into here goes 3 times. Some people see it as divide each by 3. 3 into here goes 1, 3 into here goes twice.
Sorry, what did you come up
You have
with?
2x over 1, which is equal to 2x. So it's really whichever.
I'm laughing about your answer, I'm
way
laughing
you
because that's
best.
like 5 people in 5 different areas. No one got it.
Yeah. So, you know, I kind of do this little canceling, but some people see it as 6 divided by 3. So that's up to you, however you want to
understand why.
process that.
Maybe I'm wrong. For me, cross multiply just to get rid of it, right?
Everybody okay that x equals 6,
Why wouldn't
wasn't
you
it?
reduce the to get rid of it?
You
It would be
did.
a 1, it would be a 2, so just do 2x.
Let's see.
That makes sense?
So,
Let me just do it for everybody. Sit around and.
Maybe I'm wrong.
And I'm gonna come back and look at yours too. So I'm gonna go through it once, and then I'm
I'm not an
gonna take
expert.
pictures and then.
okay.
Yeah.
We all agreed multiplying by 6 would be an okay idea. And you can always go bigger. You just have to go big enough to get the job done. What would be another number we could multiply by that would work? Like something that would get rid of the 3 and the 6. 12. 12 would work. 18 would work. 30 would work. 24 would work. Anything that each of these divide into would work. But why have to multiply by something bigger than you need to? But it works and you get a right answer. Remember, it's an equation. You can do whatever you want. So I think most people multiply by 6. And you like this side right there, right? So 5 times 6 was 30. Right here, here's what I see, and everybody sees different things. I see this part right here says divide by 6, and this says multiply by 6. So those just wipe each other out. They undo each other. 3x. Yeah. Didn't get that.
Do you see it now though?
Yeah.
Now over here, some of you, watch if I extend this little fraction bar over here, some of you see 6 divided by 3.
So 2.
X.
2x.
Right? Some of it, you see it, 6 divided by 3? Some of you see it as a fraction that needs to be reduced. What can I divide into both 6 and 3? 3. So 3 into 3 is 1.
3 into 6 goes twice, but there's 2x over 1, which most people just write it as 2x. And I know you can finish then, if 5x is 30, x turned out to be 6. Okay? Here's the answer sheets to that front side. Ask lots of questions for whatever you need. You got different questions than everybody else. I don't have many copies, we may have to share.
I can share with Adam.
Okay, I'll just share with Adam. There you go. We're about to start you out sharing until we need.
Okay, I see 17, I was wrong.
You got one, right? Did you use that one?
Okay.
Need to use that one? That makes sense now?
I wonder if that I didn't make
I
it.
still have some, so you can,
Thank you.
we can. I got one more. You want to try?
A bunch of other people came in.
For,
July, and you're at.
No, Graham.
So, the denominator.
well, you know, I don't,
Main and range.
I don't really know.
On this line. No matter what,
There.
across.
I don't think that domain's right on number 1.
It's not. We caught it earlier.
Yeah.
It's negative infinity.
Yeah, change it on the answer sheet. Change that domain as negative infinity. Well, I changed it anyway. I don't like the 0 even.
So. is that what
So
you're
just
talking
change,
about?
I want you to change that 0 to negative infinity on that line.
So I'm dealing with the domain.
Yeah, on number 1 in the domain.
I'm walking up and down this line wherever I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna look. And I'm gonna look
Well, the only parts that on your graph are, this is the graph.
because it's going to eventually cross.
And your vertical lines don't have anything, can't
I see what you're saying, because it's here now.
The vertical line
Because they didn't draw it out.
only hitting
I
that
draw this
one.
line straight up,
One.
like this. That line's almost gonna come across.
When I draw a vertical line, it's only hitting that yellow. Yellow is all the points that are on the path. It's only hitting each
You're over it.
one. Branching out slightly, it's never going straight up inside, it's always going out, so the vertical lines are only hit once, come down.
So what would be your range then?
But
Can
that's,
Destiny the Swords see video with
It'd
Howard?
be the same thing, you're walking, now you're walking along.
Have you seen Gameplay? You do, Rex. It looks like,
slightly easier.
So you're resisting.
depending on the one you have.
So going down to, I'm looking across, and that's as far down as it goes, so.
So then, you have,
I only had 1x was 135, and you have a 3x, so
Other way
let's
around,
see
-2.
where that.
Always list bottom first, top second.
So you won't have 6x's here, because you see you crossed out both those 3s. Does it divide by 3? Oh, okay then.
Okay.
And you don't need to erase it. As soon as you identify your mistake, it won't happen
That's
again.
like, you know,
You don't need to erase the whole thing.
I'm saying, you didn't touch it. Is it positive?
Well, you gotta practice, you know. It looks easy when we do it, and you think I can do that, and then you go to try it, and it's like, oh, nope, I didn't do that right.
The way you graded the quiz, that was kind of confusing. Like, what was up with the minus sign next to it? Was
That was just like, I forget how many your quiz was out of
It's like,
last time.
I think it was 36.
Alright, so maybe it says something like
You're measuring this.
-3 out of 36. That just means your score was 33 out of 36. You
Oh,
missed
okay.
3. Because I like you to see, like if I had to say you missed 3, but what if there's only 4 questions? You didn't do so good if there's only 4 questions. So I like to write what the total was that it was out of, so that you can see, you know, -3 out of 36 would be a heck of a lot better than -3 out of 4. So that's why I write that. A lot of people have asked that. To me, that made all the sense in the world. Apparently, that's confusing.
Made no sense to me at first, though.
What?
I thought I did horrible in this first.
Oh, shoot. I should have explained that better.
Homework, guy. You're gonna struggle to figure it out.
Tomorrow's kids quiz, can we use our books now?
Oh, yeah, quizzes, We got one more topic to learn though, so We're not through the woods yet. We are. We are. Hand me your answer sheet when you're done, so we know how many people are done, and we got one more topic to practice today.
You good on that?
You good, Shane? For the front side, anyway.
Yeah, Shane, you done?
Thank you.
Answer sheet? Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
Right. Yeah, I'll grab you one. Going that way right now.
No, I'm just seeing what I should do.
I'm standing right here. And I'm looking. I know that's where this line is gonna make it out.
Alright, we're gonna start now, just to get you.
Okay.
Let me get everybody started, then we'll have a better, I can take my time answering better. Maybe you heard me say we got one last topic that goes in to this quiz, and this is what we need for starters. And I don't know how else to say it, but it's not a real exciting topic. And I don't know a way to make it exciting. I don't know how to make your notebooks exciting, other than color and highlight and get creative.
Think about it, for instance, when you're measuring domains, you're standing on domain.
Oh yeah, I better get it up later. We will put this in your notebook. I'll give you the table of contents in a minute. Let's go ahead and just use it and write on it before it's attached in there. I think it's easier when you've got a flat desk underneath it. So I think you've probably dealt with all those formulas before. Distance formula, simple interest, temperature, area of a triangle, area of a rectangle, perimeter of a rectangle, area of a trapezoid, area of a circle, circumference of a circle. They're just formulas, and I don't think there's anything new there. We're going to practice the same skills you've been practicing the last couple of days, only we're just going to rearrange. We're not going to get x equals 5. X equals negative 19/3. We're just going to be rearranging so that that formula could be used for something else. For instance, on here, do they have the temperature? Yeah. And we'll probably do this in a little bit later too. Where's the chalk? Oh, it's all right here in the middle. So your formula that you have on your sheet, tell me about that. F equals 950 plus 32. What do you use that for?
Temperature.
For temperature. To do what with temperature? To find the Fahrenheit, right. That's what we're kind of used to. Like, what do you suppose it is outside right now? That's Fahrenheit. 80? Oh, 82? Did you know that it's 82? Okay. So, if it's 82, that's our Fahrenheit. Wonder what that would be in Celsius. Celsius, a lot of us aren't real comfortable. You know what freezing is at Celsius?
32.
Well, that's our Fahrenheit. That's the one we're used to.
0.
Celsius is 0. For we're used to 212 is boiling Fahrenheit. Celsius, boiling, is 100. It's just they're just bigger degrees. They're bigger units. You know, like if you weigh yourself in kilograms, you step on the scale and you go, wow, 61. Well, that's kilogram, that's not a pound, you know, it's a little different. So they're just different size degrees. But this one is good for, this particular one, written like this, is good if you know the Celsius temperature. Are there any places in Marysville that even flash that on any signs? McAuliffe's has time and temperature, but it's Fahrenheit, I think. Some places would flash both. And what if it's broken and it tells you that it's 20 degrees Celsius out? Can you go swimming?
You could, we might freeze.
I don't know. You know, well, let's see, if it were 20 degrees Celsius, that'd be 9/5 times 20 plus 32. But we don't need a calculator. We don't. Look what we're going to do if it's 20. Now let's go 5 into here goes how many times? 5 into 5? 1. 5 into 20? 4. What's 9 times 4? 36 plus 32. You want to go swimming?
About around 30 degrees.
It'd be better than being here, but it'd still be nice if it's 78 or 88, right? 68, maybe when you're in the 8th grade, you went middle school, maybe it's 68 degrees that day, you still went swimming and we're glad to be there. If you were in the 8th grade, you didn't know better. Alright? But what if I had today, you know, or say we live in another country that doesn't use Fahrenheit, and we say that it's 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and they only understand Celsius degrees. How could we turn that? We could rearrange that, but what I want to do is I would want to, this is nice to help us, I think I want to rearrange this so it's got the directions to go the other way. Okay? So let's just, let's just watch this, and here's what the directions would say so you can understand it. It would say something like, rewrite, and here's the catchphrase, in terms of, most people don't know what that means, rewrite in terms of C. That means rearrange it so that it's C equals. So, here's what I want to do. I want to get the C by itself. And you can do this, you practice it, been 2 days of it, and you're pretty good at it. So let's get the C by itself. What should we undo? Should I get rid of the 9/5 or the 32 first? Remember, undo your add and subtract first. How do I undo adding 32? Subtract 32 from both sides. This will look impressive when we get done, but you're not going to think that it's hard. So this side says F minus 32, and this side says 9/5 C. I want the C by itself. How can I get rid of that 9/5? There's a lot of right answers. You're right. I'm already hearing a lot of right answers. They don't match. They're not the same right answer, but they're still right answers. What do you want to do to get rid of that 9/5? Could we divide by 9/5?
No.
This is a multiply. Isn't the opposite of multiply by 9/5 divide by 9/5? So we could divide by 9/5. Okay, that would work. Could we multiply by 5? Is that a good idea?
No.
Yeah? Because here's a divide by 5. So divide by 5, the opposite would be multiply by 5. That'd be okay. Could we divide by 9?
No.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, because here's a multiply by 9, so we could divide by 9. Could I divide by 5?
No.
No, they divided by 5. So dividing by 5, if they divided by 5, we'll make a bigger mess. Okay? We've got to think undo. So we could do any of those ones we talked about. Whoever shelved out the first one, that's one we're going to do that works.
What one?
Multiply by
9. 5.
which?
5.
Right, multiply by 5. Because if I multiply by 9, when they multiply by 9, now I got 81. So, if the problem divided by 5, I can multiply by 5. Now it's the whole thing over here, times 5. So there, got rid of that. Now I got 9C equals 5 times F minus 32. How do I get rid of the 9? Divide by 9. And then it looks like there's C by itself. I'm just going to move it up. C equals 5/9 times F minus 32.
You want us to write this?
Nope, not yet. If you did, that's okay if you did. But. And that's what you have seen in science books to tell you how to, if you're given the Fahrenheit, how you turn it back to a Celsius. If we took that 68 that we had as that other answer, put 68 in here, we'd get a 20. This is the way to go back and forth. This was the hardest, it was a hard one, we started out with a hard one. So, which one looks easy? Let's pick something, let's pick an easy formula.
Circumference.
Let me make sure it's not one that you end up doing for homework though. I always do the same problem twice.
Surprisingly, what kind of key would there be for them to remember that they would have to distribute across F minus, or F minus 32? Anything?
I mean, if you were going this way, if you were gonna.
Well, the
do
fact
it
that
here?
they know that they had to put that bracket in there.
Other than you gotta take the whole side, I guess, just thinking that you gotta take the whole side times 5. I don't know if I answered the question very good. You could take them one at a time, take 5 times the F and 5 times the 32, but everything has to get multiplied by the 5.
So if they did, it would be the same, I see. That makes sense.
Okay. Let's, on your paper, down there, you see where there's a number 1? Down there like that? Practice
I
rewriting
write
the
down.
above formulas. Let's let number 1 be that distance formula. Distance equals rate times time. See, it's got the d by itself. And that'll tell us how far we can go. If I drive 60 miles an hour for 3 hours, that would tell me that I could go 180 miles. I'm going to solve for t. So here's what I think is helpful right now, everybody. Got this written down? D equals R times T. Okay, pick up a color out of your basket and go highlight the things that you're solving for. I'll just circle it with chalk. In this case, just go highlight the T. Do whatever you gotta do to get that T by itself right now. Do whatever it takes to rearrange your stuff. That's what you're doing, you're rearranging. Get that T all by itself. Get your T by itself yet? Circle that T. We're going to solve for T. What do you got to get rid of? R. How are you going to get rid of R? Divide both sides by R. You'll be done. It's that easy. That's the only thing you got to get rid of, right?
You just do D over R equals T?
Yes.
Oh.
There. Once you get that T by itself, you're done. The T equals D over R. You're just rearranging. That's it. That was so fast. We're ready for number 2, huh? Let's let number 2 be the area of a circle formula. Area equals pi r squared from up top. Okay, this is going to be harder. We're going to solve for r. The r by itself. That squared is attached to your r right now. So the first thing you need to get rid of is the pi. Right now that squared is glued on tight to the r. So get rid of the pi. How you gonna get rid of the pi? How you getting rid of the pi? They multiplied by pi, so we're gonna divide by pi. And there, it's gone. I'm going to move up top up here so you can see, you can't see down there. Here's what my paper says just up higher. It says A over pi equals r squared, because that pi's not there on that side anymore. Now, it didn't say, I erased mine, but I didn't say solve for r squared. It was solve for r, so we got to get rid of the squared.
Square root.
And the opposite of squaring is square root, so do it to both sides. Just right over top of it, both sides. And guess what square root does to a square? cancels it out. That cancels that out. Like it's supposed to, right? That's the game we're playing. And now you just have r equals the square root of a over pi. And you're done. Okay, let's put that in our table of contents. So we're back on page 1718, huh? There's all the markers. Page 17 and 18. And let's call it rewriting common formulas. Rewriting common formulas, and we always do the right side first, so that is your page 18. I don't know what you're going to do to make that page look exciting, but you need to do something to make that page look exciting.
Table of contents.
I believe in 17
Yes, that's
18.
She said 18? Yeah, 18.
Sometimes the pages of a book are just boring. That's when the artist in me needs to come out, maybe out in the margin, write some of those formulas or something maybe, you know, to illustrate your book. Draw a picture of a thermometer or something, since the one is about temperature. I don't know, get creative, it's your book. That's about how creative I am. Well, I got just something I should have someone around like this. So it sounds kind of fancy, doesn't it? Rewriting common formula. And that first temperature one, I'm sure you were sitting there thinking, oh, I don't know about this. But you've done a couple where you had some success. Ready to practice some more? Uh-huh. Only doing 2 of them, you probably don't feel real confident with 2. Let's do a couple more. Well, okay, 6 more. 6 more. Let's maybe let you practice these 6 and then have 6 of you go up to the board so that you can see other people's work. Oh, that one temperature one made it on the bottom of here. Let's see. I'd practice them first and then I would make this be a page in your book. This is eventually going to be your left page, but we'll put it in later, maybe after your erase and change. If they're too small and you just want to hand rewrite them, you can do that. Of course, you can do that.
You could have worded it that way. It was, and I had to try to keep it on.
It's weird. It's like just acidic refreshment. You know, senior year we have to do the projects for English.
Right.
The senior year projects. I don't really know what to do, but you pick like a section to do, like science fiction, hunting, shit like that. My brother did hunting. I forget what it is, but you basically decide what you want to do. Remember freshman year when we went to the library to look at those projects? That's basically what we'll be doing. It takes us the entire year apparently. You ever played Metal Gear Solid? No. Neither have I. I heard the new one's pretty good though. You waiting for her to give out the answers? You waiting for her to give out the answers? Yep. Same. I don't understand this part at all, like this section.
But yeah, there's none.
The same reason they moved this Fairchild over there and said our workload would be the same.
Right.
Not even close.
Actually, right, I do love actually. Still not. Yeah, just I'll just shoot straight.
And then I have to wherever they go. Well, no.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing super first and like. this like 12:52? Time we get out here.
Bring my sheets.
What's that? Algebra read from here.
Yeah, but I don't think I got an old bit.
Oh, back here, Chuck.
The homework.
It just doesn't seem right.
Doesn't seem right, can I help?
I mean, I just feel like it's not right, just cause like how they look.
Are you all struggling?
Yeah.
Let's do them together then, okay? Rather than having you go to the board, doesn't sound like a real good idea then, does it? Okay, let's do them together. It's all right. Okay. Here we are then. We'll just pretend I'm one of you. Let's see, we got circumference of a circle, 2 pi r, and it says solve for r. We just gotta get rid of the stuff. That stuff's been multiplied, so how are we gonna get rid of it?
Divide.
Divide. You can divide by them one at a time, or you can divide by both of them at once, because you gotta divide by both of them, right? So you need to divide by the 2 and the pi. If they multiply by 2 and pi, you divide by the 2 and the pi. Both sides multiply by 2, divide by 2. Multiply by pi, divide by pi. We're done. R is C over 2 pi.
Oh.
It always looks easy when we do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you think, oh, I know how to do. I don't have to practice this because it's easy. And then you go to do it, and oh, what happened? Right? Number 2, volume of a cone. 1/3 pi r squared h. We want to solve for the h. Okay, we gotta get rid of that stuff. What do we want to get rid of? Hey, we want to get rid of the 1/3.
Multiply, divide.
But, well, we can do either. We can multiply by, some of you are starting to see, divide by 3. So we could multiply both sides by 3. Some of you see it as multiply by 1/3. So you're thinking you should divide by 1/3. Let me show you a little trick. Look at this, divide by 1/3. That's the same as multiplying by 3 over 1. Remember we had to divide fractions by hand? Divide by a fraction means multiply by its reciprocal. That's why it doesn't matter if you multiply by 3 or divide by 1/3. If you multiply by 3, there, the divide by 3, multiply 3, gone. And it says 3v equals pi r squared h. Everybody okay following that 3? Nod, shake your head. Okay. Oh, wait, we'll get rid of next. We're trying to get the h by itself. Get rid of the pi? How do we get rid of pi? Divide by pi. Okay. Now I got r squared h equals 3v over pi. I just want the h. I want, this is, so h was multiplied by r squared. I need to get rid of the r squared. And the problem multiplied by r squared. What are we going to do?
Square root.
Not yet. I want to get rid of a multiply by r squared. Divide by r squared. Now watch. Watch the magic. Let this be easy. Here's this side divided by r squared. This side over here already has a divide sign. Just use it to get your r squared. See it? You're still dividing by r squared. Okay. Multiply by r squared, divide by r squared. There's h. We're done. That's it. 3v over r squared pi. Just rearranging. Let's have a harder one. Ready for 3?
No.
Okay. Want me to erase that and do it again? Are you still writing? What's up here? Okay, that's all right. Well, I tell you what, instead of skipping to number 3, you're going to try to finish some more. And the back of that review sheet that you still have, tomorrow we have a quiz. And this topic's on there, plus anything else that's on the back of there. So, you want to finish these. If you can't, you can't. If these two help to go on, keep practicing. The more you practice, the better you'll get. So you got this, and we can put this in your notebooks tomorrow. Just leave the baskets there. But don't forget the back of your quiz review.
What if we can't figure this one out?
What's the back say? There's some of them I think that you can. You're going to try them. If you don't know what you can't do tomorrow, seeing somebody else do it doesn't help. Try anything that you can.
So the back side of the review is over?
Back of the review. If you can continue here, okay. Back of the review plus here. Oh, it's up there. I see it. Oh, that's right. Well, we're going to talk about that's right. It's geometry.
Yeah, I like it, but it's like trying to do both of them at like the same time is getting kind of difficult. So like when I go home, I'm used to just doing like one specific topic at a time, and now I'm doing like 2 math teachers at one set of.
I know, and they're different.
I was gonna say one
But I know because you're not the only one. There's a good handful of you that have to do this class. And you have to watch it. Like at midterm time, so
I thought you said there was a thing. The first thing you said, I thought you said you like bacon. Yeah. What'd you say?
What's up for you?
I don't know how much of the music you listen to, but I think Fall Out Boy is pretty good. I mean, I like all that. I like Carl Cox and Pop and I was good. They're good. I don't need it. That's okay. That's why you brush your teeth, I guess. Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Except when I'm not doing anything. Except when I'm not doing anything.
Anything for what?
Like if I'm not doing anything today, then I'm not supposed to do anything.
Not dressing, not lay in bed all day.
And play The Walking Dead. Or maybe home. It's addicting.
Oh, wow, how's everybody out there today? Great? Great? Awesome? Any awesomes?